This episode of the MOC Squad was filmed in front of a live, members-only audience. I've been good, Rob. How are you?
We're live, by the way.
Oh,
wanted to make sure you knew that.
I didn't know that.
Sorry. I just played the intro. I know we were kind of muted on our side, but yes, we are live. So welcome, everybody.
That's exciting. Roberto, good to see you. It's been a while. Good to do another member call.
Yes. You've had a busy August between Comic-Con and Star Trek Vegas convention and all that stuff going on.
Yes, and now I can finish. I can devote all of my time and effort to finishing my book.
Yes.
So
I was in a camping trip last week, so yeah, things just kind of getting back to settling in after 10 days.
Yeah, and so I want to apologize for everybody for being late. I was doing a Designing Hollywood interview with Ariane Phillips, who's the costume designer of The Invite and I Want Your Sex, Greg Araki's movie.
Nice.
And then we brought in Monica Chamberlain, who co-designed I Want Your Sex with her. And I was having a great conversation with the two of them. And it ran over, but it was what a delight to be able to talk to people of their caliber. They also both worked on Joker Folie Deux, and I got to express my love of that film despite what the haters say. Fuck them.
All right. Well, just to kind of run over the drill here with our viewers and listeners, if you are a member of the Robservations channel, you should have received a notification, or you can check the member section of the YouTube page for the Zoom link. That way you can join us in the Zoom. And you can spend a few minutes. I think we usually do around 7 minutes per member.
7 minutes in heaven.
In heaven with the one and only Robert Meyer Burnett. As you come into the Zoom room, there is a set of tools at the bottom of the Zoom screen where you can raise your hand, and then that will set the order in which I will have people come up on stage to chat with Rob. We do accept super chats and tips and things of that sort. And before we get started, we have a couple of those. So let's go ahead and read those out quickly. We want to acknowledge What's Up, It's Dom, who has been a member for 61 months. So that is 5 years.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you for your support, Dom. And we would like to also acknowledge here, we have a couple of super chats from Assistant Professor X. Rob, we have to talk about the full 95-minute feature film by Higgsfield AI, Hellgrind. Have you seen this?
I have not seen Hellgrind yet. I've seen some really interesting clips of a movie that could be part of Hellgrind, but no, I have not seen it.
Okay.
We're going to see a lot more.
Yeah,
a feature-length AI-generated material. To me, it's for me, the jury's still out. My problem with generative AI, although people prompt it and it is shaped by human beings. The problem that I have ultimately with it so far is that, like, say, the design of ships, or it's all taken from other things. You're not seeing the human element when it comes to design, camera angles. I mean, so you can pick. I play with a lot of AI software programs where I can pick my lens sizes and pick my shots and all that. But there is a frisson that takes place, especially when you're working with actors, that I would never want to get rid of. But again, that's a value thing because I grew up in a culture that instilled that within me.
Yeah.
And I can see people using generative AI the same way that an author writes a book. We're going to have one person sitting down and creating a feature film, and it is going to be their vision. They're going to be using the tools of generative AI. And can you say that, well, it's scraped all of human art and all that? But that's what we do. When we make things, we use our brains and we go and look at things, and it's an amalgamation of everything that's come before. So it's really an interesting philosophical question. But I mean, the way things are going in our civilization, the dumbing down and the ridiculousness of Western civilization and what it's becoming, is who cares ultimately? I'm just kidding. I care.
Let the AI overlords take over.
Yeah, because we're not doing a very good job. I think our civilization has become deeply unserious and unthinking, especially if you watch this week's episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Oh,
well, thanks again for that $5 donation. Another $5 donation from What's Up, It's Dom, saying, I bought True Noir a while ago. I finally got around to listening to it. Great job. Wish I had more to listen to.
Hopefully I do too.
Yeah.
And you now it's funny because I'm gonna get those Blu-rays with the 5.1 out, but this is the CD that you can get. This is only the 2-channel mix. You really need to get into 5.1, but it's pretty cool to have this from Skyboat, and Skyboat Media put this out, and you can get this. It's really neat to have this. So I'm glad you liked it, because it was certainly a labor of love, and it took a long time.
Yeah, so thanks again for that donation. And then several other members acknowledging here their membership time. We have Lord Toth, who's been a member for 70 months. We have 1001 Johnny. Cannot believe how long has it been? It's been 38 months, Johnny. We've got Rob Lego Patriot for 18 months. We have Krizik for 25 months. And we have Gordon Z7S for 5 months. Thank you, all of you, so much for your support of the channel. And one more $4.99 super chat here from Richard Craig 412, who says, if you were in your late 20s today, what route would you take to get involved in the movie scene? Thanks, Rob. You seem like a cool dude. Appreciate you.
Well, the thing about now is, I mean, if you look at what's happened the last couple months with both Obsession and Backrooms, you have 2 filmmakers, both Kane Parsons, aka Kane Pixels, and Curry Barker, that they have extensive experience, years worth of work that you can go back and watch on YouTube. Curry Barker has some really funny comedy sketch things. He's made short horror films. He has a huge body of work behind him. And Kane Pixels, one of the things I really liked doing was going back and watching his years worth of Backrooms videos that he made. And they had a lot more experience making work that they were showing on social media than a lot of the filmmakers who started today. I mean, so if you want to be a filmmaker, I'm not saying that everybody who makes YouTube films will suddenly get discovered, but you have an outlet. I mean, these guys had millions and millions and millions of views, and we also saw that with Markiplier. Was a guy who people followed his work, streaming him playing video games, and then he teamed up with a creator whose independent video game he really loved, and then he spent his own money and made Iron Lung, and that movie he cut a sweet deal for distribution, and he probably made $25 million off that movie that he financed himself. But that's what you can do now. I mean, the thing is, filmmakers can now put in the time. If they're talented, their work can be seen online. And, I think that's the best thing you can do. Now you have immediate worldwide distribution for your work. Now, I'm not saying it's going to catch on and you're going to find your audience, but we didn't have that when I got out of film school in 1988. I mean, my first job, luckily, was a few weeks out of film school. I was the art department PA on Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 for New Line. And I think a lot of people are not availing themselves. Everybody wants to be a producer or director right out of the gate, even though they know fuck all about making movies. And I think one of the things about what social media and what making films for YouTube can do for you is it gives you immediate feedback. And you can train yourself and you can show what you're able to do. And both Curry Barker got his $750,000 for Obsession, and Kane Pixels was talking to James Wan when he was 16 about Backrooms. And he proved, I mean, I don't know Kane Parsons, Kane Pixels, but watching both of these guys being interviewed, they have it. Yeah. They know what's up. and the proof's in the pudding. So I would say, if you want to become a filmmaker, start today. Start today. Write yourself a scene, get a friend to do it with you, and start shooting it immediately, because we're all carrying around the most sophisticated technology ever. You know, you've got people like Eli Roth using generative AI in his new movie Ice Cream Man. You know, if you need a few, and there's incredible work that's being done now, and there's more tools than ever before. It's just, it's still all about the talent.
Yeah.
Can you wield these tools in an effective manner?
Yeah. All right, and a couple more member support mentions here for Jurassic Joey, member for 27 months, and Foolish American has just become a YouTube member. So hopefully for many, many more months to come. All right, people have been waiting enough. We will catch up with other chats in a little bit. In the meantime, let's go ahead and admit all of our members who are here in the Zoom chat. Here we go. And as people are coming in, remember those tools at the bottom of the screen. Find the one that says, is it gestures or react? I think in the newest version of the app, it's called React, and you'll have a raise your hand feature that will put you in order here for me to call.
I gotta come clean with you. I kissed Julian Mushkin on the cheek.
Hey.
You
know, I think it's a hard thing to resist. So I think
it really was for me in particular.
All right, so we've got a bunch of people in here. I'm going to go ahead and pin you, Rob, so that we have you front and center. And again, remember, guys, that I'm going by the order that I see the hands raised. The order that you have may be different. However, if you are needing, if there's any issues, sometimes people have to leave early or whatnot, just send me a chat through the Zoom chat here, and I'll try to accommodate your request as best as possible.
Sorry I'm late, guys. I was doing a Designing Hollywood podcast about both The Invite and I Want Your Sex combined, so it ran long.
Understood, Rob. No worries. So we have Julian Mushkin coming in first. Let's go ahead and let's see. Why can't I? Hold on. Okay. Asked to unmute. Julian, you should be able to unmute now. Sorry, they just changed some of the iconography here. And
hailing frequencies are open.
Are you in Vegas, dude?
No. I wish.
I drove back and forth to Vegas twice this week.
Oh, is that how you accomplish that?
It's true.
I was trying to figure out based on the stuff you were dropping, like on Instagram and everything. I'm like,
I went to Vegas on Tuesday.
Or did he come back? And
no, I drove. So I got up and because it's only 3 hours door to door from my house. So I got up on Tuesday and got in the car at 6 a.m. So I got there at 9. I got there at 9:30 because I'd stopped in for gas and stuff. And then I just wanted to see the new X06 figures. I wanted to see all the TOS figures. I wanted to touch them, and they just let me help set up. So I did the whole TOS display, and it was fantastic. I got to see all this cool shit. And then I hung out, and after that I had really nothing to do. I ran into Victor Griggs. He's there with his mom, like last year. And then I came home and did the John Campy. I came home that night, and then got up in the morning on Wednesday and did the John Campy show and trying to do all this work for White Devils, get that done. And then I got up at 5:30 on Thursday and went and I had a 10:30 a.m. panel to do. And then I tried to come back home, and I had to stop at a rest area and sleep in my car because I was so exhausted. But it was fun.
We haven't done Star Trek Las Vegas since 2018. So
it was really fun because it was the 60th anniversary. Everybody was there. It was just a blast. It was a lot of fun.
Well, and now with the Trexperts doing their own track of paneling, I've really wanted to get out there, but
yeah, it's really cool. So it was a lot of fun. I go out there and I do a panel. Of course, I go to a Star Trek convention to do a panel about a Space 1999 documentary, as one does, because my friend Jeffrey Morris he's been on the channel. He made the Eagle obsession. And it was funny. Somebody asked us, how many Eagles do you have? And it's just, I started counting them up in my head, and I'm like, that's embarrassing. I have a lot of eagles of all shapes and sizes. You know, even right there, like
Yeah.
there's an eagle right there, you know, and there's more eagles there. There's an eagle in a box over there. I probably have 25 eagle transporters somewhere here.
Eagles everywhere.
Yeah, you can't have enough.
I think I had, what was it? Was it Monogram that made the plastic model back then?
It was
I think I had one of
MPC.
it. Oh, was it MPC?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one of those.
Yeah, or as Elizabeth says, the bug ships. See, Major Chai has one. She's got the Anderson. That's a Jerry Anderson one.
Yeah.
From the Anderson store. Which that's a whole different, you can get a whole different scale there. So
saw Spider-Man with the daughter. We went on the preview night.
What'd you think?
And we liked it. We liked it a lot. It
was
was very
great.
entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
As a comparison, having seen the Odyssey not too long before that, I enjoyed it a lot more than the Odyssey. So I liked the Odyssey, and we talked a little bit about it, at Comic-Con, but there's more going back and staying power with Spider-Man than there is for me, than there is for the Odyssey. There's lots of good things, but there's lots of other things that detract from my enjoyment of the movie enough. So it's like, oh, I wish this was in that. I wish they'd done this, and why didn't they do it this way? I don't have anything like that with Spider-Man. So
I understand.
I
thought it was great though.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we even ended up in the very front row, which is not because all of the seats were, gone. And so I don't usually like to sit there, and that was good.
Do you know how much Spider-Man made yesterday?
I haven't been paying close enough attention. I just know it's just kicking ass.
$43 million. $43 million on its second Friday. I mean, that's unprecedented. And it hasn't been tallied up yet. Already its worldwide take is $1,259,338,528. I mean, this film is a juggernaut.
Truly.
So
truly.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I'm wondering about is with the announcement of who is going to be playing Emma Frost as opposed to Sadie Sink, who's playing Jean Grey. And I'm like, there's some age difference. And if they're shooting for a younger.
Well, Emma Frost, remember, Hellfire Club, she's older.
Well, yeah, I never really, when I was reading it in the Byrne days, I never saw her as older. I saw her as more contemporary with them.
She's a Hellfire Club member, man. The X-Men were always, come on. But by the way, Samara Weaving is not that different. But they announced the kid playing Cyclops.
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna get more announcements. I can't say it because it hasn't been announced who's playing Beast and who's probably playing Xavier, which it's gonna be, but they're gonna announce everybody next week. I think we're gonna get the big announcement of the whole X-Men team. Although I don't expect them to now announce a Wolverine. I think they're going to wait. I think they're going to wait for Wolverine. They're not going to include Wolverine initially. Although I'm talking out of my ass. I don't know if that's true or not.
Maybe they should just leave him out.
Well, I mean, look, if I were them, if I was Kevin Feige, I would fucking do Alpha Flight, man.
Oh,
do Weapon X. Go the Canucks. Go
Alpha
do Alpha
Flight
Flight.
Would be awesome.
I want to see Sasquatch. I want to see Puck. I want to see North Star, and I want to see Marina. Give me Alpha Flight. I love Alpha Flight.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
Vindicator, and introduce Wolverine as part of the Weapon X program. They might not do that, but it'd be really cool if they did. So
true that.
You don't have to go. Do you have more to say?
No, I'm good.
All right. We'll
Great
bring on
to see
Mr.
you,
Erdy.
Julian.
The darkest day the world has ever known, Mr. Erdy. What's up, dude?
Oh, wait, hold on. I don't have Brian yet. Let me get Brian here. I'm sorry. I'm a little rusty, Rob.
Jeez, dude.
By the way, you were talking about eagles earlier. That reminded me of a joke I saw at a tattoo parlor. They had a poster of the top 10 things you don't want to hear at a tattoo parlor. And number 1 said, eagle. I thought you said beagle. So anyway, here's Brian. Welcome, Brian.
Hey.
What's up, dude?
Not too much. You mentioned Alpha Flight.
I did.
I have an original page from Alpha Flight.
Wow, is that a burn page?
Yeah.
From one of the first 12 issues?
No, it's from issue when it looked like Guardian came back, but it was the Dark Guardian storyline.
Okay.
And this is the recap of when he explodes, but how he supposedly survived it.
Was that from issue 24?
Yes.
Dude, that blew my fucking mind, that comic.
I absolutely loved it until we found out, because it was a great explanation as far as what.
Well, we found out later, though, right?
Well, he explains that he like does this like thing with the space-time continuum and is able to escape, and it's a great explanation. We find out it's not true, but then later, long after Byrne left, they came back and said, well, actually, that was all true.
It is true. Yeah.
So, yeah, but I don't have a lot of my original art left, but that's one page that I kept because I love it. And speaking of art, I don't remember if I shared this before, so if I did, please forgive me. But my book that I published last year, my children's book called Midnight.
Yep.
I won a Telly Award.
Wow.
Not for the book, but for the promotional video that I did for the book.
Wow.
Which was
congratulations, dude.
Kind of fun. And it was great timing because yesterday on Amazon, my follow-up book called Midnight and Mac went live on Amazon.
Wow.
This is I don't have the publisher or the author copy got somehow there was a problem with the shipping, so I don't have a author copy, but here's the cover of the book if you can see it.
Hang on.
I can't see myself. So
I'm going to put you full frame so I can see you. I want to see.
Go.
Yeah. Wow, that's really nice.
Yeah, that's the cover of the book. It's called Midnight and Mac, and you can find it on Amazon for less than the price of a Happy Meal. So there you go.
Wow. That's very impressive.
Thank you. It took me 2 years to do the first book, but kind of getting back into the practice of drawing and drawing well. And the second book, man, I flew by, got it done in 6 months, and it's just a nice, sweet little evolution of the character, and going to revisit every couple of years and just watch my little character grow up.
That's amazing.
Thank you. Speaking of amazing, I thought it would be fun to talk a little Spider-Man and to show off from my archives my first, and I'm curious to find out what yours was, but my first introduction to the Amazing Spider-Man. I lived out in the country. I lived on a farm, man. We had nothing. We had no 7-Elevens. I had no way to get comic books. I had an uncle give me this album. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah, I know that. I never owned that, but I know that album.
It was my first encounter with Spider-Man. I had no idea what the character was, and this is such a product of the 70s. It's got a bunch of original songs.
Yeah,
and it's just the songs are just awful, but I love them because I listened to it. That's all I had to listen to. But it's got the nice little interior where it has the John Romita illustrations talking about.
Yep,
it shows the whole story, and then after that, Spider-Man appeared in the Columbus Dispatch, which I did get. We did get out on the farm. And when Spider-Man appeared as a daily strip in 1977. In order to promote it, they did Marvel did two things. They gave everybody in the Columbus area Spider-Man versus the Hulk, an advertising supplement for the Columbus Dispatch.
Wow.
And the second thing that they did, and you want to talk about one of those mind-blowing moments. My mom did. I didn't see the ad for it, but my mom did. And to the Columbus Dispatch sponsored a live appearance of Spider-Man at your local J.C. Penney's. So my mom put me in the car,
because that's where Spider-Man hangs out.
J.C. Penney's. She threw me in the car. We went to J.C. Penney's, and super long line, but we waited in line, and I got to meet some cat dressed as Spider-Man, and they gave us a free comic book, which I still have today. So that was my introduction to Spider-Man, and as a kid, all those elements kind of coming together. How could I not love the character? And I'm curious, what was your first experience discovering Spidey?
You know, it's funny you say that. I don't really remember. I mean, I think it was probably comic books, because we did have a lot of comic books and around, and I did have 7-Eleven, and what we had a drugstore that was close to our house called Lakeside Drug, where I bought lots of comic books. But then I remember, you know, Spider-Man was part of the Electric Company and part of cartoons, and so I had definitely seen a lot of Spider-Man stuff growing up. I mean, I don't remember. The thing is, I don't remember ever not knowing about Spider-Man, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
Yeah, because that was. I mean, I always knew the character. I don't remember a time where I didn't know Spider-Man.
It's like all these things sort of happened very, very quickly, because then you had a Spider-Man TV show, the live action,
the Nicholas Hammond one
with Nicholas Hammond, and I had a cousin for my birthday. I don't have the original one, but this is one of my most cherished things, an unopened Spider-Man. It's a rack toy, one of those cheap rack toys that you get at the Super Duper. And I love that. It fell apart in like 8 minutes, but I was able to find an unopened one on eBay a few years ago, and I one of my favorite things I have in my collection.
Wow.
So anyhow, thanks for letting me show off my stuff. If you're interested in
always
check it out on Amazon.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on. I well, wait, because, you know, I don't know what to do with my own book yet. I haven't decided whether I should crowdfund a publication of it or just make it a book on demand. The thing is, I want a slipcased hardcover of it, so I have to crowd, because I could never afford to.
And may I add, okay, as you move forward.
Yes, Brian, you may add.
I want to add that we sat in a diner in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm taking full credit in saying to you repeatedly, why don't you write a book?
You did say that 100%. You know, I wasn't going to do it. The funny thing is now I've written 2. I've got my horror novel and then this Star Trek book. But this Star Trek book was born out of trying to repurpose my YouTube content in some way that would make money. And I surprised myself as I started to do this. At first, that's what it was going to, and then it was just going to be a transcription of my Picard season 3 after shows. And then I started to write, and then it became a book about myself, and I think it's turned out to be quite interesting, and I keep revising it, but it's almost up to 80,000 words.
Oh, wow.
Which is like 200, 300 pages.
Okay.
So
I just know that the stories you told me, even going back to cutting that trailer to the Nixon.
Oh yeah, that's all in the book. That's in the book.
That stuff. I will top tier if you go or crowdfund this, man. I will be top tier. So
it's interesting. It's just weird because we haven't got the perks out for True Noir, but that wasn't my crowdfund personally. But the True Noir stuff's going along quite well. I'm having the booklet for the soundtrack album is now in process. It's being designed.
Nice.
And and then the Blu-ray I can finally, because we had to really wait to see what they wanted to do with this. So that was something I didn't expect, is that it took a long time for our distribution deal to close, almost a year.
Wow.
So that kind of set me back, but I've got all the elements. I mean, this Jeff Bond, who wrote the music of Star Trek, wrote the liner notes for the soundtrack album. So it's a really nice, it's a nice package.
Go home.
Yeah. So
Jeff is great.
Great to see you, Brian. Thank you so much
Thanks,
for
guys.
joining us. All right, let's go ahead and hold on. I gotta remove Brian from here, and then we have a couple of more super chats. Rob,
fire away.
Obi-Wan Kenobi says, Rob, it was great to see you at the Exo 6 booth with 6 Scale Mafia. What an amazing guy Anthony is.
Yeah, we had a blast, and he had some figures that I'm going to admit this publicly. I now have Boimler and Mariner as 6 scale figures. I'm just gonna say.
Now, are they human looking, or are
Yes.
they cartoon looking?
They are from the Strange New
From the
Worlds
Strange New
episode.
Worlds?
They're from the
Okay.
crossover.
So you have it's a Jack Wade looking.
Yes, and you know what? I do not apologize.
All right, no need to apologize.
I don't. You can give me shit all you want. but after the last 3 episodes, after season 4's Strange New Worlds episodes, I have nothing to be embarrassed about in my life.
Okay.
But the people who write that fucking show sure do. I mean, what are they doing? They're like, which movie are we going to rip off this week?
Right.
I mean, yesterday was The Hangover, or this week's The Hangover.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what would be great with modern Star Trek if somebody actually thought about what it would be like to write, I don't know, a real Star Trek episode?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Do you know how to write a Star Trek episode? Apparently, the people making Star Trek do not.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Between Starfleet Academy, between Section 31, and these 2 seasons of Strange New Worlds actually started promisingly.
Yeah, but
until they ripped off Ursula K. Le Guin.
It's just delved into imitate. Yeah, like what each episode is becoming a self-referential Star Trek parody set in the genre of something else.
Yes, that's a perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
And it's shocking. What I find so shocking about it all is the people. These scripts have gone through an approval process.
Yeah,
somebody has to say, yeah, we're going to make these, and it's unbelievable how dumbed down when you think about the people that wrote the original series. They were some of the great fantasists.
Yeah, there's no sci-fi writers on this.
No, I would dare say there's no writers at all.
Yeah.
It's like, let's just rip off a movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's so. I would never put my name on an episode like that as a writer, because when your influences are so obvious, and you're just stealing, and then you don't even. Why is this happening? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, you go back 65 million years. How they wound up at Earth, I'll never know. And they're calling the people from the 4th planet Martians. It's 65 million years ago.
Yeah.
Mars was a name that we bestowed upon that planet.
Right.
Wouldn't you have that race tell us what they called themselves? Now, people have said to me, well, Rob, we call the Vulcans Vulcans, and we call the Klingons Klingons. I'm like, yeah, that's true. We do. And those are those are also terrestrial names. But you have an episode where we are meeting people that used to live on Mars. Why not ask them what they call themselves? It could have been a moment of great creativity. Mm-hmm. But that first episode, people are like, it's really neat. Well, okay, you want to rip off Jurassic Park? You want to explain why there's an asteroid field? As I tweeted out, it seemed like I was watching an episode written by a bunch of drunk science fiction writers at the 1962 Hugo Awards after ceremony, and all the people that didn't win were sitting at the bar getting hammered, thinking to themselves, what's the most cliche science fiction story we can come up with? The world, the human beings really were seeded here from Mars, and what if there was, what if the asteroid belt was really a planet once, and let's go punch a dinosaur.
Yeah.
You know what? That movie wasn't even, or that episode wasn't even about our crew.
Right.
It wasn't about our crew. And I hate that show.
I know.
You know, Discovery was just bad, but Strange New Worlds is bad because it squandered tremendous potential, and they've bogarted that show from the original series. Fuck that show, and fuck everyone. Love the actors. I love the actors.
No,
they are trying their
doing
hardest.
what they can with the material they're given. Yeah,
and the material they're given sucks ass.
We have a couple of other chats here. We have a nice little joke from What's Up. It's Dom. He's saying, Rob, the Eagles are playing in the Sphere in September. Different kind of Eagles.
Different kind of Eagles, but you know, it's just another tequila sunrise.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with those Eagles. And then we have another Six Scale Mafia gifted a membership to some lucky winner in the chat here today.
Six Scale Mafia is supposed to be working at his booth.
Well, you know.
The XO6 booth, which was amazing.
He's
Anthony was good. I love meeting people I've only streamed with in Meet Space. It's very nice to meet people in the real world, and it's great fun. That was so much fun, and seeing Terry Metalis interacting with his action figures.
That's awesome.
And he took me out to dinner, and it was insane, I have to say.
All right. Well, we have somebody who won't take you out to dinner, but he will jump on here to have a discussion with you, Rob. And that's Jeff Bingham. Jeff, welcome aboard.
What's up, dude?
Hello. Not much. Yeah, obviously no real updates with the Hunting Wives Season 2 to line up with my book release. Although I think at the moment I was sort of looking into it, it's now looking like October because I looked at their schedule, Netflix's schedule. They have some openings, and I looked at some behind-the-scenes stuff for the show this season, and there's a Halloween episode, so I think it stands to reason there will be an October release for that.
Oh, that's good. That's good. By the way, I watched Netflix's new movie that I was really looking forward to. Is it called The Last House?
I haven't gotten to that yet.
What a disappointment.
Yeah. Well, okay, that saves me some time. If you're also since I'm publishing through Amazon, I think they do offer like hardcover.
They do, but I want a hardcover slipcase version.
Yeah,
with dust
yeah, I don't know.
jackets.
Right, yeah, I don't know if they have that. I'm not planning any hardcover version for my book. I think they do offer a paperback.
You're gonna write an erotic thriller, and you have no hardcover.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I don't know. It just feels weird when it's not like a thick one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing my whole life.
Yeah. And not Spider-Man topic today, but did you happen upon that Variety interview with Will Gluck, the director of One Night Only?
I have not read that.
Okay,
I like him though, because he directed
you're not gonna like. Yeah, here's the thing: you're not going to like what he has to say here. Let me just pull this up. I'm going to post this in the chat for everyone to peruse. Let me post this in the chat. Yeah. So basically, his movie, the gist of it is
he removed nudity.
Yeah, Corey threw his hands up in the air in frustration. Was that? Were you reacting to that, Corey? Just that? Yeah.
Well, you know, I would say this. It really depends on, like, nudity can stop something cold. And I haven't seen that yet. John Campius said it was kind of an innocuous, more of a rom-com than it was anything else.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. She is hot as fuck.
Yeah,
Monica.
But I think the problem is this comes off as like generalizing though.
Oh,
like overall in terms of like, oh, they don't want sex and nudity. I looked at the quote unquote empirical data on the matter.
Well, but that's younger audiences are saying that they don't want that.
Yeah, I mean, well, it does seem to highlight.
And girls only seem to want it when they want their own nudity by themselves when they're in front of a camera and making money from it.
Yeah.
So, which is sad, really.
Well, I mean, I think also it's like, clearly you know better than me, like the test screening process, right?
Yeah.
Do they vet people for what their comfort level with sex and nudity or no?
No,
Yeah,
no, they try and find people from all walks of life. They'll be passing out flyers. There's a company, it's been around for a long decades. NRG, the National Research Group, and they recruit
right.
people in screenings, and then once they have the people, they pick like 20 people of the audience that's going to the screening, and they make them wait afterwards, and they ask them questions. The problem that I have with that process is the questions that they're asking demand an answer. So they ask these questions that are kind of pointed in the sense that you have to give them an answer one way or another. And it's not really necessarily reflective of how much people liked or disliked something. If you're saying that like, did you enjoy this dinner? Or if you ask, what you might have loved the dinner, but the question will be, what about this dinner did you not like as much as you hoped you would like? Well, if you're going to ask a question that way and you might have loved the dinner, but the way the question was couched, you're going to give somebody an answer that says, well, I really didn't like this as much as I might have liked it, even though it was fucking good. But you've asked them to
they'll change it based on that sort of minusculely related aspects, right?
Yeah, like if somebody says, how did you feel about the nudity in this movie? If someone says, or did the nudity in this movie make you feel uncomfortable? The answer is yes or no. And so if somebody said, well, yes, or whatever, that then becomes, you're speaking for the majority if you get more than 50%. But the question was asked, did the nudity make you feel uncomfortable? So most people are inclined to think about it in those kind of terms.
Yeah.
If you were asked somebody like, are you okay with nudity? Maybe people would come back and say yes, but because you're asking the question and you're contextualizing it one way. The best example of that is there's a documentary called The Hamster Factor that's about the making of Terry Gilliam's 12 Monkeys. Get your heads out of the gutter. So The Hamster Factor was all about making 12 Monkeys, and I want to say it was Chuck Roven, but one of the producers of the film, they knew the movie was really great, and they knew they'd seen responses to it before, but the cards came back and they weren't as strong as the producers knew the movie was. And they held their ground. They told Universal, they're like, we're not cutting it. And the movie came out, was a hit. But, you know, the public is not always necessarily the best indicator, especially when you're asking. I mean, my thing is, like, you should always go test movies, but you can feel whether a movie is working or not. But the problem is, you know, now it's all micromanaged. Now there's so much money at stake, way more so than, you know, the 80s or 90s, that they have to do these things because, and that's why you wind up with movies like Supergirl, where you have two competing cuts. And as I said, Supergirl was misconceived from the get.
Yeah. Well, also, like, aren't there people who just like to go to test screenings of movies just to shit on them? Don't you have those types of people?
I mean, I'm sure that, but that's true of every place. But I don't think that, because you never know when you're going to get a screening pass. They really do, because they go places where they wouldn't normally think. Like, sometimes they'll pass out. If somebody's desperate to get rid of their passes, they'll go to a movie theater and give them out there. But a lot of the time they might give them out in places that you don't necessarily have people who go to the movies, because they already like movies anyway. And what you're trying to do is get a cross section of people that aren't necessarily big movie fans, because you want to get that general public vibe.
Right.
So
one last thing. Do you think maybe another factor could be like maybe the director just isn't that great with sex scenes, so to speak? Maybe that's why there's a lesser response to some.
Look, as I've said, I think there's a problem with eroticism in culture in general,
which may not apply to a movie like only one night only thing, which is not necessarily supposed to be that way.
Sure. Sure, but
because The Housemaid was successful with sex and nudity, but that's not a comedy.
right, and that
That's
had
not
other
one season.
things going on. I mean,
Yeah.
you can put that movie was also about degradation and abuse. you can put, and I liked it, and you can put sex in that film, but like movies that rely on eroticism as a plot point and things like that, I think our culture has become surprisingly unerotic. We have become pornographic and not erotic.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, just show it to me and let me mechanically be done with it, and then you leave. I mean, eroticism is all about the tease, and now all people want is the destination and the aftermath. And I'm like, well, what happened to the tease? I mean, when you sit down, it's so weird to watch people talk about going on dates and the way dates, like when you have a great date and you're vibing with somebody, it's the erotic draw to another person that keeps that spark in the conversation. But, nowadays it's like you have dudes propositioning girls before a first date's even done. And it's like, you guys got no game. These kids today, no game. No game. And that's reflective in, I think, our entertainment, which is too bad. I mean, what a shame. What a damn shame.
I know. Jeff, it was great to see you, man. Let me get you removed here. Hey, Rob, speaking, I know that Jeff has been working on his book for a while. I wanted to recommend a book in case you haven't heard of it.
Ooh.
It's a Danish book by an author named Solveig Balla, and it's called On the Calculation of Volume.
I'm in.
And it is a 7-book series. I believe 6 of them.
You can't just recommend one book.
Well, I'll recommend just the first one. I've only read the first one.
Okay.
But it's a cool story, and it takes an interesting kind of meta-philosophical approach to the Groundhog Day type of premise.
Oh, okay. Hang on, I'm in.
Yeah.
Now, wait. Let me go to. Hang on. What's the name of this?
On the Calculation of Volume. I read it in 2 days. I mean, I just plowed
wow, that
through
just
it.
popped right on up.
Yep.
Oh, dope. Volume 1 of book 1.
I believe
1 of 5.
Yeah, but 5 that have been translated into English. A 6th one, I believe, is already out in Danish, and then there's going to be a 7th one.
Wow, the covers are dope.
They're cool. Yeah.
Oh, I'm in.
Anyway, I've only read the first one.
Paperback bullshit. There's no hardcovers.
I don't know. I had a digital version through my library, so I'm not sure. But I wanted to recommend that for you. Interesting take on the whole Groundhog Day kind of phenomenon. So, well, we have a couple of super chats here from Richard Craig 412. What's some jobs behind the scenes in the movie entertainment industry someone could get into with no experience?
Well, being a production assistant.
Mm-hmm. PA.
I got out of film school. My first job, again, I was the art department PA,
mm-hmm.
and I had no experience.
Yeah.
And it was a blast, so it really depends. I mean, a lot of people, the idea of starting at the bottom and working your way up, the idea of doing any kind of an apprenticeship of any kind
mm-hmm.
is sort of anathema to people today. They want to jump in feet first, and it just doesn't work that way. I mean, I went to film school, and I realized when I was on a real film set for 10 minutes that I knew fuck all about being on a film set.
Mm-hmm.
Working on a movie has nothing to do with watching a movie. And that was a very eye-opening lesson to learn.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, let's talk film theory. I'm like, no, dude, you got to go get some paint at the paint store.
Start building a set here.
yeah. I mean, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
So, that's an entry level position to get. And by the way, I had that summer, the summer of 1989, that I worked on Leatherface in the incredible heat in the hills above Magic Mountain. We built the 2 sets that we shot in. We were not on a sound stage for the entire film. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I was helping out with the prop department. I was helping out. I was kind of a versatile, whoever needed help. And here's another thing. When you're on a film set, one of the most important things to do, especially as a PA, is to learn to see where people might need assistance before they know they need assistance. So you have to start watching. You learn everybody's jobs, and one of the great things about being a PA is you just do the rounds. Is there anything? If you have any free time on a set, walk up to a different department and say, "Is there anything you need?" And even if you get called back to the art department, and if people can trust you, like one of the things that people do also as a PA, you have to do lots of runs in a car. And for me, I got paid by the mile. So I quickly learned that the faster I went places and came back, the more money I could make. And they paid you like 30 cents a mile. And, in LA, you might be driving 200 or 300 miles. There was, when I worked at Tony Gardner's Altarian Studios, and I was working on Army of Darkness, Sleepwalkers, and the Swamp Thing television series, all in the same summer. Sometimes I would drive 600 miles a day. So mileage was a big deal.
It adds up. King Tannic is here saying, first MOC Squad stream in a bit. Glad you
Where
are
has
all
King
well.
Tannic been? King Tannic.
It's been a while.
I miss him. King Tannic, of course, we're talking about the otaku experience that King Tannic, made a big life change, got married.
Congratulations.
I hope by bringing that up, I hope you're still married and everything is great with you. What a great guy he is. And I love the show. Now it's replaced with Icons of Fright. Not that you can bring back the otaku experience whenever you want.
Great to see you, King Tannic. Glad that you're joining us here today. We'll do one more of the super chats before we jump to our next chat. Jason Nelson, 5251, $2. Did you get a chance to hang with the FNT meetup folks?
You know what? I did not. I was going to Gary. I had a ticket to go to FNT, to Nerdrotics. I love Gary's meetups, and I went to one in Las Vegas before. It was amazing. I got kidnapped by Terry Metalis. I got waylaid. He invited me to a dinner.
Yeah.
You
can't say no to Terry Metalis.
No. And I had no idea. I had no idea where I was going, and I wound up at Spago in the Bellagio. It was one of the better dinners I've had in my entire life. And I met some pretty interesting heavy hitters and a great bunch of people. Nice. And the man who threw it was an amazing guy. And I had a really nice conversation with Michelle Hurd, Rafi. Oh, wow. And I have to tell you, she told me she had one of the most intoxicating scents. I mean, she's a really.
She looks like she would have a great scent.
In a person, just as an aside, Michelle Hurd, she smelled so good, and she was kind of very animated as she was talking. And whatever scent, she said it was like Dizzy Gillespie or something, like it had some jazz. I was just, every time she moved, I was like, I love women's perfumes.
Intoxicated.
Absolutely love, but I don't like many American perfumes. I'm not a fan because they're all like flower based. I prefer a more musky kind of a whatever she was wearing was like whenever you go to Europe, I walk down the streets, European perfumes, same in Australia, New Zealand.
It's more of that pheromonal kind of stuff.
Way better than American perfumes. I'm sorry, ladies, they're terrible. There are very few, but the whatever she was wearing, I was just standing there trying to concentrate. You see those weird ads for like that cologne that men wear that have the pheromones in it, and the women are just going, I don't know what that is. I've never tried it, but
back spray or something like that.
I don't know. But whatever she was wearing, I'm like, oh my God. She's a very, very engaging personality. She's really a beautiful woman, and it was really fun to talk to her. And she told some pretty heartfelt stories about what it's like to be, you know, how some fans have come up to her and the things that she's experienced. And
Yeah,
I really liked her. She was really cool. I
Nice.
feel terrible about, you know, speaking horribly about Picard season 1 and 2, but she agreed to be in it. Luckily, she made it to Picard season 3.
She made it
to
season 3, and I think her character, in many ways, was redeemed with season
totally
3,
redeemed.
so.
And the great scene she was in with Michael Dorn.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
when he introduces himself to her, it's great.
Yeah. Krizik is up next. Welcome, Krizik. Should be able to join us now.
What's up, dude? I want to know what the job situation is like.
Job situation.
Yours.
Job situation.
Didn't you have to leave your job?
Didn't I have to? Yeah, I had to. Well, so I had to part ways.
Yes.
Because.
So I remember.
Okay, I'm glad you did.
You're all my children.
Well, dang it! I feel so blessed now. This is definitely why the Saw is totally family. Nice.
That's the Saw is family. One of the great. It totally is.
Yeah, no. I'm still working on my stuff. I'm in the middle of keeping things moving, keeping cash flow going where it has to. But I actually had some questions because some of the people that I was working with before, they were patiently waiting to find out when they could submit their stories to you. And I haven't seen any links from the Imagination Connoisseurs.
No, I'm doing that too. It's kind of it's funny you say that because I've kind of been doing that in tandem. I want to launch, you know, my own book, but also open up this is for the Imagination Connoisseurs book. And I've been talking about this for years, but I'm actually going to finally do it. Especially now that I've worked with programs that can tell whether something was written in AI.
Yeah.
Or AI wrote it. AI cannot write.
No, it can't.
I just want to say it cannot write.
It can't do a lot of things.
But it is helpful when you are writing. I would say that from a outline sense, and like it really was helpful on the horror novel that I'm working on.
Yeah.
But I also have been using AI as an editor, and I've been insulted by AI.
Well, that's good. Sometimes it helps to have, you know, it helps sometimes to have Colossus put you in your place.
It's true. And, you know, sometimes you have to take off, like you have to ask it. You have to give it the right prompts depending on what program you're working in. Yeah. I recommend going on and doing searches for your prompts to ask the AI program you're working with for total truth.
Yeah.
Not to blow smoke up your ass.
Yep. That's exactly it.
And when you do that, sometimes it can be very disheartening.
Yeah, no, it definitely can. And to that point, I wanted to actually piggyback real quick on something that you had mentioned earlier on the call, which concerning AI and all that. And, you know, so for me, I don't, as a creative, specifically as a visual creative that does the work himself, I've gotten into a lot of back and forth with folks about AI and AI use. I've even had people reach out that work in this space, which is both games and animated features. And they have a lot of questions because it directly, I would say, would more directly affects us than it affects folks like yourself in live action.
Yeah.
Insofar that you can do an outline, right? And you can still keep your creative voice, provided that you don't just go along with thinking, oh, he's doing my work for me now, instead of me doing it, because you still have to be the person in charge. Whereas when you had said, and I know you weren't saying this to mean it this way, but I've heard others in the YouTube space say similar things, which is, well, it's taking the workload off of me and I don't have to worry about pulling a line. And I'm like, for me, if you don't know what pulling a line is, at least for animation, it's where you're needing to do your tweens, keeping everything on target, keeping everything on model. It takes skill to do that. And you could argue, oh, well, the machine can do it. Well, yeah, in 3D animation for what we would do for DreamWorks with the marionette tools there, you know, that can do our stuff. But you, the animator, my mentor, Jason Ryan and other guys, they're performing Shrek. That performance you're seeing, that's Jason acting, right? He still has to know how to act. It's not enough that we throw it through marionette and then just let it do all the tweens, because then it's going to look like garbage.
Yep.
So yeah, AI can do things, but at the same time, unlike the system that I just pointed out, or if you're using Sophocles or some other kind of writing tool, it's not going to do the work for you the same way that AI could technically do the work for you because it's read everything else that someone else in your same space has submitted to Silver Pictures or something else like that. So that's kind of where it gets a little blurry for me and why it's always hard for me to lean hard into it in terms of folks that ask, should I use it? Should I not use it? I say use kid gloves is usually my best answer I can give folks.
I mean, in terms of writing, you know, if you want to use it to help you write a book or something, it becomes very evident very quickly.
Exactly.
You can't do that because it drifts or hallucinates.
Yeah.
And I can't even trust it as an editor.
Yeah.
Because it'll like I can't do it. Like I write when I'm writing, I've always got Grammarly on.
Yeah.
I find Grammarly is really, really helpful when I'm writing. It'll also then even when I've written something right off the top of my head, I'll then check it via Grammarly to see if it's AI or it even seems like AI, and it gives you levels of AI writing.
Yeah.
And even if I get the lowest level of this could be AI, I rewrite it.
Good, because AI by design, having written a few LLMs back in my day before it became popular, it wants to average because its intended goal is not to act like Whopper or Colossus, like the dumb joke I made earlier. It is in fact designed to get from 0 to 1, and 1 is pleasing you. It's definitely a placebo type of device.
So bringing up the Whoppers or Colossus is never a bad thing. It's only when you invoke Guardian that things get dicey.
Yeah, no doubt. But let me segue real quick to something I wanted to speak a little bit on Spider-Man, because I'm pretty sure you watched it. I know Roberto did not, so I'm not going to lean into the things that I'm upset about. That would be spoilers. But I wanted to share this, so I'm sharing my headspace again, as I normally do. And people were talking about, oh, what got you into Spider-Man? I mentioned earlier that I got into it because of Todd McFarlane when I was in middle school. His first and last run of Spider-Man for Marvel before he left for Image. And what I was pointing out here is that if you noticed, and if you're a big Spider-Man head, in the movie, they do poses like you see here from the first Amazing Fantasy, and they try to recreate it. I would say a little ham-fistedly, but that's just me being cynical. You use your own best judgment. But the one funny thing that I noticed is that no one's ever tried to recreate this pose. Right? No one's ever, like, I've never seen Tobey Maguire do that pose. I've never seen
I can't see them doing that. That's I don't think that's an iconic pose.
So iconic. Look at him. Look at my little guy. He looks like he's doing the goofy thing.
It looks like he's trying not to have explosive diarrhea.
Spider-Man doing the Thriller dance, I think.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's close to midnight.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, great. So, thanks, Chris. Great to see you, man. All right.
Always a pleasure, dude.
Let me
We're on the DL, dude.
Whenever
we're on the DL.
Move here, I lose the pen. There we go. We have another super chat. They're coming in strong today. $5 from Garfield's Bizarre Adventures.
Nice.
5758. Do you have any thoughts on the Blood and Bone author and her clashing with the Hollywood studio adapting her book? She did take the Hollywood check.
Okay, I am fascinated by this. So for those of you who don't know, the author of what is it?
It's called Children of Blood and Bone.
Children of Blood and Bone, which is
Adeni, I think it's her.
Yeah, it's I don't know if you call it Afrofuturism, but
it is kind of an Afrofuturism, more of an Afro fantasy.
Yeah, it's an Afro fantasy. Mm-hmm. By the way, I watched that trailer. I thought it looked dope. I'm like,
I read that first book. It's a pretty good book. I like the book.
So what has happened is, and you've got the woman that starred in, I forget her name, who stars as the Acolyte.
In the Acolyte, yeah.
You've got a really great Murderer's Row of great black actors in this. And it looks predominantly like an all-black cast.
It does.
Written by a black woman, science fantasy writer. And she has vehemently attacked this production. Like, she's come out, look, she made a lot of money,
but with no clarity. There's been a lot of work said about wanting to come clean about what happened, but then nothing is actually being disclosed.
First of all, if you decide to sell your property or take the money and you allow Hollywood, and by the way, when they optioned her book, they optioned it not just for one movie. They probably optioned it for all three. Okay, when you do that and you take that money,
and it's been optioned more than once, Rob, by the way, because Lucasfilm had it for a while, so there's been deals already that she's
been making money. You are entering into a business agreement, rightly or wrongly, with a corporation that has paid you a lot of money. Make no mistake. Now, here's my problem with. I mean, first of all, she's a beautiful woman. I looked at her. She's gorgeous. Yeah. She's young.
Very young.
She's young. And I'm like, I get all of these young people that have never had to actually, it's so funny when you've never actually had to live in the real world. And I'm sure that her world that she's lived in is this activist world where she's been told, rah, rah, good for you. Well, you joined late stage capitalism, woman. You know, you sold your book to a studio. And that movie does not look like it was cheap. I don't know what the budget is, but they've spent tens of millions of dollars turning your book into a movie with a company that is publicly held, that has spent money on your creation. And she's come out, and I've never seen anyone attack a production the way she has. And I hate to say it, but with all of this not clarity, like, what did they do to you? Like, I'm like, did they lock you in a dungeon for take you somewhere? What? I have no idea. The way she talks about it, I think is wildly irresponsible on a number of levels. I think what she's done is really abhorrent, to be honest.
Yeah, but then the issue is that there's been in several of her posts, it's like she talks about how she needs to talk about this, but then she doesn't say what it is that happened. Because I can understand if there was some egregious behavior or something. But
she's acting like she personally was abused.
It's to put out these kind of and I haven't seen this, but then I've also seen some people saying that she has also commented that regardless of what she said, you should still go and support the movie. Which I don't know if that's true or not. I have not seen that myself.
It might be, but that's backpedaling.
But then, so I don't know.
And they're in the middle of production. I mean, they just dropped the first trailer. They're in the middle of post. To me, it's the most irresponsible. This is why, and I'm gonna say that you can't have it both ways. You know, if you're gonna sell to Hollywood, if you're gonna sell your book to Hollywood, it's not like Hollywood doesn't have 100 years of authors upset with the adaptations of their books. And this, do you think that Disney, is it Disney?
No, it was originally Lucasfilm and Disney had it, optioned it for a while. I want to say Kathleen Kennedy even introduced it at one of those things that those presentations that they do occasionally. But then those rights either lapsed or they went ahead and passed them on to someone else. I want to say it's maybe Universal who's in charge of it now. I can't remember.
Either way, it's a gigantic studio. Look what you're doing to you have a fantasy project that was derived from a Black woman's book that has an all Black cast. I don't know who's directing it, but by doing this, you are harming all the people that have signed on to make your vision a reality. And to me, it's, unless something really terrible, I mean, I hate to say it, but she's kind of talking like a jilted lover. And it sounded to me like her name's Amanda, right? The lead actress.
The lead actress, Amanda Stenberg is. But I'm not sure that she's the lead. I think there's a younger.
She's in there. But she was addressing. She's like, "Don't email me. Don't." I'm like, is this like a lover spat brought into the public?
Yeah, it's a Paramount production, by the way.
Oh, it's Paramount.
And the director is Gina Prince Bythewood or Bythewood. So,
I mean, why would you feel the need to do that?
Yeah.
because I would say that's actionable.
Yeah, and not only, but she also had a hand in the screenplay. So I mean, when you think about the fact that she has been involved in the translation to film as well, I mean, granted, there's always compromise when something gets adapted, but it looked like she had a lot of involvement up front as well. So it's been really interesting, and the lack of clarity about whatever it is that she means also makes it difficult to understand what's going on. Oh yes, Corey points out here, what happens when the actors have to go on a press tour, and everyone's going to go, what is this all about? Right.
And the thing is, the authors made this very public. This is the disconnect that I see with a lot of younger people, and they might be able to turn around and say, well, we all, we need to change the world and make it into a better place. I'm like, that's easy for you to say when you're not shelling out tens of millions of dollars of corporately traded fundage, that your shareholders are expecting to get back.
Yeah.
And that's why I see that there's a complete, watching, well, we're going to have grocery stores that sell food for 30% less. Really? Where's that 30% coming from?
Yeah.
It's great in theory, but now they want, oh, well, we're only going to sell it to people in New York. Oh, that was really well thought through. So now you have to bring, oh, wait, real IDs to get that food, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable when I see things, especially when it comes to, people just think they should get free shit. Workers should control the means of production. Really? Well, how are those means of production built in the first place? Like, you want to run a factory? Pay for the fucking factory. How do you do that? No one ever talks about that. No, workers should just control the means of production. If the workers controlled the means of production, there would be no means of production because they wouldn't have been built in the first place. I mean, it's so amazing to me. I'm not some fucking financial genius, obviously, but the way people are talking about economics these days, I'm like, do you guys not understand where things come from? A factory doesn't just appear. I mean, it's so weird. And I watch her because she's really angry, and she went online, and she's just, the way she's speaking, it's bad. She's not like, oh, I'm never going to talk to them again. She's talking like something horrible happened to her.
Correct. Yeah.
And it's like, first of all, I have to ask myself, why do you feel the need to go out and make this public? Because you have mechanisms to deal with it personally. You've got your lawyers, you've got your people, or why not go, I cannot stand, because to me, this is the weakness of the younger generation. Let's air our dirty laundry out in public, and let me just throw it all out there.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if I'm feeling good about it and it's my truth, and I just need to share it. Well, what about all the hundreds of other people that you're affecting by throwing your very nebulous truth out into the world? It's irresponsible, and it's so disrespectful to everybody that's trying to make your vision a reality. What do you think? What do you think those actors and all the crew people think?
Yeah.
You have hundreds of people working on your movie, and the very woman that created all of it is talking about how she wants nothing to do with the work that is ongoing.
Yeah.
I can't imagine something more demoralizing.
Yeah.
Especially working on a film.
And she got a dream cast for this project. I mean, we're talking Damson Idris is in this, Amanda Stenberg, Cynthia Erivo, Lashana Lynch, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Regina King, Idris Elba, Viola Davis. I mean, this is like royalty when it
First of all,
comes to...
Viola Davis is in your movie. You shut the fuck up and let Viola Davis do her work.
Quite a cast. I mean, yeah, it's crazy.
I mean,
crazy.
And how do you think they feel?
Right.
They're not going to be on your side, sister.
Right.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I mean, I don't understand what's going on. I think it's really weird but I think there's that big disconnect between the real world and the online world. Because when you're online and you're addressing your grievances in the ether, people are just going to pat you on the back and say, good job. And in the meantime, you left Paramount and you've left hundreds of people that are working on your movie dangling in the wind at your whims. I would sue her, frankly, if I was. But the studio doesn't want to do that because they've still spent tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. What a cast!
We'll see how it unfolds. But
what a betrayal of your cast! My God,
insane. Yeah. So 1001 Johnny had been on the list and somehow got bumped out. I'm going to go ahead and bring him in now so that we can honor his wait time, and then we will get back to the regular queue. So welcome, 1001 Johnny.
I have something to say to you, buddy. I pre-ordered that Ultraman box set.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Oh, my word.
So I'm going to get the original Ultraman. I'm going to get Ultra 7. There's one other series.
Return of Ultraman or Ultra Q?
I don't know which one it is. I just saw it and I thought of you and hit click.
Oh.
So
I've influenced Robert Meyer Burnett's buying hobby.
It's true.
Yeah. On the Ultraman YouTube channel, they've been releasing the English dub of the Ultraman Discovery series. That is, they restored select few original Ultraman episodes and converted them to 4K.
Sure.
And then they released that on those episodes on Blu-ray with an English dub, so that the YouTube channel has been now releasing those once a week on Friday.
That's cool. Should I watch them?
Oh, for sure, because they're going to take them down, Rob.
Oh, right, because they're up there illegally.
No, they're up there legally. It's the official YouTube channel.
Oh, really?
They're going to take them down because they want to generate interest. Watch it now, or we're going to take it away in 2 weeks.
God damn.
You've already missed 2 episodes, Rob.
That's terrible. I've missed 2 episodes. I'm beside myself.
Or I could buy the 4K Ultraman Discovery thing for you and have it get shipped to you, and then you can watch it yourself.
No. You don't have to do that, but I appreciate it.
I already bought it for myself. I'd be happy to buy it for you, Rob.
No. That's okay.
Hey, so I know everybody's talking about the Odyssey and Spider-Man. Odyssey, not so much. It was at the start of the chat. But really, has anybody been watching Batman Cape Crusader? That dropped around the
second
same time.
Season. Is it good?
Yes. Okay, it is a lot more fun than the first season, and I personally thought the first season was great. Like, I love old gangster movies. Humphrey Bogart. I would watch like a whole bunch of Bogart films a few years ago, and then that's essentially what the Warner Brothers producers, they approached Bruce Timm and they said, "Can you do a revival of Batman the Animated Series?" And Bruce Timm was like, "I don't want to. I've already done Batman. I've already done Superman. I've already done Justice League. I don't want to redo what I've already done." So he's like, "Okay, if I'm going to do a new Batman cartoon, I want to make it more like those old Warner Brothers crime films." So that's what we got. So we got more a Batman inspired by the Golden Age. He doesn't have a bat computer. He has a glass board that he writes on with a marker,
right,
planning everything, and it's great. And a lot of people aren't liking it because they say it's boring, and they say Batman's not even in his own show. I swear, you guys don't. These aren't even young people, like young fans. These are guys in their, well, I guess 30s or older, but it's people who should know better, is my point.
You're you're not going to get any.
I know. I'm preaching to the choir.
You're preaching to my choir.
So season 2, they bring in some more Batman rogues because the first season was focusing on a bit more, trying to be more like, instead of Firefly, it was Firebug, a character that people might not really be familiar with. But in this season, we got the Riddler, we got the Mad Hatter, Joker, all that. Not going to really spoil anything, except I really, really like this version of the Riddler because they make him more of an XP of James Cagney character. Like he's this tough gangster, and he's not a riddle quiz master. He's a gangster with a Tommy gun with a penchant for puns.
And he gets rid of people. That's why he's the Riddler.
No. He shoots them up. He riddles them.
Riddles them with
Riddler. and he does it while saying bad puns, like, "When is a copper like cheese?" When he's full of holes.
Oh.
So
that's kind of cool.
It's a very fun third episode is the best episode of the show. Like season 1, season 2, third episode is the best episode. I'm not going to tell you what the premise is. It's just know that it's good, but it's good like an old gangster story type of good. And yeah, I really enjoyed the tone of the show. Like I love the animated series, and one of my favorite episodes is called "It's Never Too Late," which is like it's based on the old movie Angels with Dirty Faces.
Right. Wow. Okay.
So like there's two brothers. One is the head of the crime in Gotham. Rupert Thorne is his rival, but then the head gangster, Arnold Stromwell, his brother is a Catholic priest. And it's just for an episode for Batman animated series, Batman's not really in this episode. Batman's not even in his own show. Like it's one of the greatest episodes of the show, and Batman's not in it. Well, he's in it, but like Stromwell's the focus. Like,
yeah.
Good story. It's a great episode. It's like maybe my favorite episode of the whole Batman the animated series. There's also Two-Face. I even got a soft spot for the Penguin episode where oh no, Paul Williams voices the Penguin. That's who it is, right? He wrote Rainbow Connection, right?
Yes.
I know who it is. I'm so terrible with a lot of names I got to remember sometimes. Oh, yeah.
Count me in. But people have said it's really good, so I need to go catch up. I haven't seen the first season.
I'm really glad to hear that you're hearing people saying it's good, because when it came out, I was hearing nothing but, oh, it's boring, da-da-da. There was no good reviews. I couldn't find any good word of mouth, and I knew it was good because I was watching in real time.
Yeah.
And
that's what to love.
I know. There's some people were saying there's, it's woke because there's the race swaps, but they do it really well. Like Barbara Gordon in the second season, she's got a great episode. Like it's a Christmas themed episode. So those who are watching it will know which one I'm talking about. So great episode. And the animation direction. First season was a bit stiff. This season, the animation's a lot better, and they're actually doing a bit more emotional, complicated, conveying the emotion better.
Right.
So I guess they're using new animation technology, because it's not like these are new animators. It's a lot of the same team from the original.
Sure.
The same producers from the original show and writers as well. So it's just got to be, they're using a new animation technology, I'm guessing, because I can tell some form of digital animation, some form of modeling is being used.
Right. Well, they use that, in everything now.
Of course, just it must not be their strong suit, because suddenly in the second season, there's more dynamic framing. When in the first season, it was a little stiff. Not bad though. Just, oh man, sorry. Some of those reviews ticked me off so much. Like, it was boring compared to I don't even see how this is more Batman than Batman. It's like, they told you how. It's based off of old Warner Brothers crime films. Do you not watch old stuff? Do you guys even know who James Cagney is? Granted, I didn't know who James Cagney was at the time, but I knew the movies he was in. I knew these are movies I wanted to watch, and I had watched some before, but mostly because I was following Bogart. Then I find Bogart is playing second. He's underneath Cagney because Cagney was the bigger star. I grew up with Bogart always being the main star because Casablanca and all the other stuff. But
it's more so than ever before. People don't know anything about the past, because when I was growing up, when we only had a limited amount of people, when you only had 3 or 4 channels and independent stuff or whatever, you would watch what was in front of you. Now, with choice, it'd be very difficult to expect people to go back and watch Humphrey Bogart and James Cagney movies, because they don't know what those are. Those characters. You think about, like, one of my favorite movies of all time is All About Eve. It won Best Picture in 1950. Well, that movie's 76 years old now. No one's going to go back. They don't even know what that is. So unless you look into something, you'd never know.
I just want to, because my time's up, I just want to recommend something. I found this YouTube channel. I just came across the old Max Fleischer Superman cartoons. Like I said last year, those like my favorite, when we were talking about the new Superman movie, and I was saying my favorite versions of Superman are the animated series, the Bruce Timm version,
Sure.
and the Max Fleischer cartoons.
Yeah.
So those are all in the public domain. So they're on YouTube to find. And then there was this YouTube channel that uploaded them in restored 4K. And this, well, maybe not 4K, but some, it doesn't look digitally brushed up. They look nice, if anything. And they also just put a whole bunch of movies on there that just aren't on DVD or in any streaming. I don't know I'm pretty sure it's just some film nerds, not an official anything, right?
Sure.
But the point is, on their channel yesterday, they released, what was it? Great Guy, James Cagney, Great Guy, where he plays this police officer going after the gangsters doing a grocery store racket. And I watched that this morning. It's great. The end of the thing is he's going to get plugged by the two gangsters, but then two good cops come around the corner and it's like, oh, you're committing a crime. You're carrying a gun without a permit. So they arrest them. And then Cagney's like, hey, wait a minute. And he pulls the gangster away. He's like, I got some unfinished business. Hey, you can't touch me. I'm being arrested. Oh, right. He shoves the cops out of the room, locks the door. And the cop's like, hey, open the door. Hey, this door isn't open by the time I finish this cigar. You're in trouble. And then he lets him beat him up.
Yep. I mean, those are the days.
Yeah. Anyway, my time's up. Good to see you. I missed the membership call with Supergirl. I just couldn't make it. I was so bummed. I saw the movie too, so I liked it. Real brief, I liked it, but it's still not really my jam. Like, I get what they were going for, and I appreciated the attempt. And I'm hearing what everybody's talking about. Like, they wrote this, that was cut, it's okay. But yeah, I'm not surprised it's having a trouble finding its audience.
But people who see it like it.
Yeah. I recommended it, even though I didn't like it as much. Like I said, I didn't really like Gunn's Superman film that much, but I'd still recommend it.
Yeah. I would not recommend it.
Very, very good to see you, Rob. Happy I was able to be here.
Good to see you, Johnny.
Always good to see you, man. It's been a while.
All right, now we've got DL joining us. I know you've been waiting.
DL's been waiting. I just want to say we're all on the DL because
welcome on the DL.
Patiently.
Hello.
How's it going, man?
Fantastic. Actually, one thing I wanted to bring up, it happened to me last time, and so I get to pay this back to somebody. Marco E is about to leave. He's very tight on time.
Marco Escondoles?
Yes, someone gave me their spot last time because I had to leave. So I will be very happy to shift one more and make you guys wait for our voices to conversate together.
Very kind of you, DL. I'll go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and mute you, DL, and then
I like going like, oh, Marco, like the Prime Minister of Russia in Hunt for Red October.
And we will bring in Marco. Welcome, Marco.
What's going on, dude?
How's it going?
How's it going with you?
Oh, pretty good, man. I'm so happy I can join one of these things. It's been a hot minute. But you know what? I'm an artisanal craftsman with the bartending.
Oh, I love hearing that.
And when I see you drink those pre-made old fashions,
okay.
Okay.
Hold on a second. I am adamantly against pre-mixed cocktails, except this one.
It's really good.
I don't drink any. They have a whole line of pre-mixed cocktails. They all suck. Sorry, Knob Creek. This is really good.
All right.
And I love an old fashioned.
Yeah.
Whenever I go places, I don't like old fashions that are too sweet. I don't like that at all. This is not too sweet, and it has a kick.
Nice.
It's good.
I thought of something. I was on a walk the other day, and I was thinking Star Trek, our favorite subject. And I don't know if because you talk a lot of Star Trek, if this has been brought up, but going back to Andy Weir.
Yep.
Now that they're under new management, because he told the other guys, to fuck off or whatever he said on Critical Drinker. What do you think the possibility is that Andy Weir could write a Star Trek movie? And this would be launching the movie with a new crew, a new captain, in a new time and place without a TV series first. They've never done that.
First of all, that's what's being done now with the two guys from Dungeons and Dragons and Game Night. They're right. That's what they're trying to do.
Oh,
and I love Andy Weir. The Martian's one of my favorite. The extended version of The Martian's one of my favorite movies of the 21st century, really. But I don't think Andy Weir is a good fit for Star Trek. But I like I really do like. The Martian is very much a Star Trek movie with all the people that work at NASA and everybody working together. I think you know what the problem with modern Star Trek is to me? They don't believe in it. The people that are making Star Trek do not believe in the whole premise of the show.
Well, that's why I brought up Andy, because you do need someone that can believe in it.
Right.
And you can still make an exciting. What's so frustrating is you can still make an exciting Star Trek show or film, and be, someone who believes in it. And I don't know why they feel they have to just, make it like Beverly Hills 90210 or whatever.
Well, because first of all, I don't think that there's anybody, and I'll make a bold statement. There's nobody. TV writers tend to be on the younger. There's very much a younger, and I'm talking about maybe late 20s, 30s, maybe 40s. TV writing is one of the most cutthroat places you can be when it comes to the entertainment business, because you have a showrunner that really defines everything, and the showrunner has a writing staff underneath them. And what you really need is to make effective. You want to make great TV. You've got to have a showrunner who has a writing staff that believe in the project and everybody's on the same page. Otherwise, television writing can be the most backbiting, horrible, dysfunctional. And I've never written for TV. I've just heard about it. I've been hearing about it for 40 years almost from other people. And I think what ends up happening is when you have somebody like Alex Kurtzman, who's the showrunner or whatever, or Akiva Goldsman, they themselves are not the right people to write Star Trek. And when you don't have people doing the right things, it means that everybody's operating out of fear or ego. And to me, that's the death of television. Great television writing is led by somebody, a showrunner who knows what they want, who has a great vision, that trusts their writing staff. And that's what, you saw that with like Terry Matalas, I think, has that with his group of people, because he's made 12 Monkeys, Picard, and now Vision Quest, which, by the way, I saw the trailers for. I can't wait for people to see this show. I think it's a really special show. And they're gonna drop a trailer at D23. I can't believe they haven't been promoting it more than they have. But I think that's the problem. And the people that are writing Star Trek, they don't believe in Star Trek. They don't believe in it. That's why they have no way to write it. Andy Weir might believe in it, but I don't know if he's capable of writing. Because his stories are about, like one man in a situation.
An ensemble cast, you're saying?
Well, the thing is, The Martian has a great ensemble cast. I mean, I love all the secondary characters, especially in the extended version of the movie when you get to meet all the NASA staff more. But I really think you need somebody who understands the military first. One of the things that we're missing, if you look at the staples of American entertainment throughout the entire 20th century, military fiction, men on a mission, whether you're watching The Great Escape or The Dirty Dozen or Where Eagles Dare or The Longest Day, or, there was something inherent. And look, Star Trek is about bringing American democracy to space. It's Kennedy's Camelot and all of that. The writers of Star Trek don't even believe in American democracy. They believe in this country as you're either oppressed or you're an oppressor. And the one thing about Star Trek is, at its core, it has the idea that the American experiment is going to prevail and maybe not be equal around the world, different versions of it, but that Western civilization was going to prevail so we could go into space. And if you look at where Star Trek is, you know, all men are created equal, inalienable rights, even though they made a joke about that in Star Trek 6. Inalienable, you know, even the name sounds racist or whatever, as it Bohr says. And people don't believe that anymore. And you see it all around. I mean, no one wants to call themselves, it's now the Democrats are now, it's the Democratic Socialists. Like, give me a break, man.
Thing. It's a bad direction.
It's a terrible direction because it doesn't.
Young people don't get it. They do not understand. They just don't get it.
Well, it's never worked.
Nope.
It's never worked because at the end of the day, you have this pie in the sky idealism that is uncoupled from reality. And you can't remove, you know, Star Trek will tell you that each person will perform according to their gifts, but not everybody has the same gifts. And socialism and communism want to reduce everybody to the same thing. And that's no way to run a human race. What you want is the people that are good at things to exceed and excel doing the things that they're gifted in doing. And socialism and communism destroys that. And human endeavor is built into us. It's built into our souls. And communism and socialism remove that. And it never works. And if you'll notice, it's always the people at the top that live in this rarefied air, especially, I mean, Mandami is a trust fund mayor. He's never known for want. You know, he comes from a rich family that has always been rich. And he's talking about socialism, which is bizarre to me. What do you know about socialism? Being a democratic socialist, where the only things that you're going to do is you believe in, you can't, if there's a finite resource, which is what economics will tell you is when it comes to capital, you can't tax your way into making your civilization work because the very people you're taxing are already paying for the world you live in.
Yeah. No,
so if you make it untenable for them to work, they leave. If you look at what's happened to Seattle, my hometown,
yeah,
horrifying.
I have friends that live there.
Horrifying. The mayor of Seattle, and what they've done over the last 5 years, horrifying. And nobody understands. I understand the impulse in making sure that every single person is taken care of. I believe in that. But the thing is, that costs money, and you have to create the wealth in order to do that. And you don't do that by taxing people that are wealthy. If people get successful and they start from nothing, like Howard Schultz, who started Starbucks, you know, he lived in government subsidized housing as a kid. He had nothing. And he pursued the American dream and excelled. Star Trek is about the 1%, the most elite members of humanity. And what they keep trying to do is make Star Trek about the everyman. And Star Trek is aspirational. It's about who the everyman wants to believe they imagine themselves to be. It's always been that way. And now the people that have been writing Star Trek have been using it to bring their message to the people. I mean, let me tell you something. If the crew of the Star Trek, if the Discovery, they would never have succeeded. They would never have survived the Doomsday Machine, the Space Amoeba, the meeting the Organians. They would never have survived any of it because there was no chain of command, and they would have been wiped out. So that's just a mid-Saturday rant in 100-degree heat.
Rob, not just to push back. In Star Trek, though, we are in a post-money society, right?
Well, we're in a post-scarcity society.
Okay.
When you have things like machines that can transmute matter into anything you need, no one's going to be hungry. But remember, we still have, like, Cisco's dad has a restaurant.
Right.
Picard's family still owns a vineyard.
Right. But I always saw those things as being, you're able to do those things out of the art and out of the love of doing it, rather
Which
than
you
having
can.
to do it for.
Because you have replicators
Yeah.
that can replicate anything you want.
Sure.
No one's going to be homeless because you can replicate a house, and it's just power. And I think that the idea that there's all different kinds of civilizations that have money.
Mm-hmm.
And when they talk about you don't need money in the Star Trek universe because your wants, your basic needs are provided for because technology has made sure of that.
Right.
But that doesn't mean it's still aspirational. People can pursue what they want to pursue. But the funny thing about the Star Trek universe is, what Star Trek doesn't have? It doesn't have lazy people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you're only ever seen the people that are really good at what they do.
Right.
We've never seen, I would love to see, because I'm sure there's a lot of, and human beings are inherently, if you're not having to fight against animals that will eat you on the African plains, like lions and tigers, oh my, then you can have a chance to live in, if you can be lazy and not have to fight for your every meal and fight for where you're going to sleep tonight, then things start to change. And I think that what's unfortunate is that humanity wants to excuse itself for not being excellent. And Star Trek is about aspiring to be excellent. It's built into it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about humanity working their asses off to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. And most people can't dig that. They feel that because then they have to confront their own shortcomings. And that's what they've tried. They've tried to turn Star Trek into something that says everybody is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's worthy. Well, we're not. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's important to recognize that we should aspire to be better than we are. And it's everyone now wants to I want to accept you for how you are. You can accept everybody, but that doesn't mean you can be on the bridge of a starship.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you're not going to do the work, you can't be there. Not everybody gets what they want. But if you try sometime, you just might find you get what you need.
Well, we got Stubble McShave coming in next. Welcome, Stubble. Share his perspective on any of this or anything.
Wait, what about DL?
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
I want to get down on the DL, man. I want to hear what the DL is today.
Now Stubble's gonna hate me more than ever. So
no, Swedes
I can't wait to bring him in after DL. DL it's your turn now.
Patiently waiting.
Sorry, DL. Sorry about that.
Hey, fellas.
You're a little low. The microphones in terms of volume. Your output.
Okay, is that a little bit better?
Ooh, that's better. Your voice is on point, son.
Ooh,
yeah. Oh, yes.
Thank you.
So what's going on, man?
Today? Man, just shit talking. That's all I got going on today.
Fantastic. That's what we do here. And if you want to shit talk about something other than Star Trek, be my guest.
Oh, man, how much time you got?
Lay it on us.
Well, first off, thanks for listening to my demo I sent you the other day. It was awesome to hear that you enjoyed it. At least you thought it was good.
It was good.
That journey's been going great. So still getting there. My biggest gripe right now is DC and how much is fucked up my enjoyment of going to the movies. I don't want to watch anything anymore. I can't.
Just because of Supergirl?
All of it. Superman.
What about we got Lanterns starting next week? It looks good.
That might bring me back. It might. I'm not sure.
We're only one movie or TV show away from excellence.
No, I'm sorry. I'm jaded, man. I need a good couple 5-6 in a row. If you give me 5-6 in a row that suck and you show me you don't care, I need you to bring it back to
Sounds like half the girls I've dated. If you give me 5 or 6 in a row, maybe I'll come back. Maybe.
At that point, the body's just spongy and bruised. Well, I mean, that's what I need. You giving me shit so often, so much. You show me you don't care about anything other than your funny dick jokes. I got nothing for you, homie. And sometimes they're not even funny dick jokes.
No. Dick jokes usually aren't funny.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, they hurt more than
they do hurt. I walk around and go, really? I tried so hard. fuck.
What am I
But
doing wrong?
no, but I look, I feel your pain. I mean, I look at things and it's really interesting. I've been going back and watching, like, I love the MCU, and I'm going back and I'm watching like those mid 2020 teen movies, whether it's Winter Soldier or Civil War or even Guardians of the Galaxy. Those movies are so good.
Yeah.
They're so good, and there's leading up to Infinity War and Endgame. And I'd say, I mean, I really liked. I don't think Spider-Man's a perfect movie, but I did feel like it was excellent Marvel. People. It's funny. I think people are nitpicking things. I was really moved, emotionally moved by that film. Those scenes with a certain ant, I was really emotionally affected by that. And I thought it was great to see. To me, it felt like the first Spider-Man movie in the MCU that everything was kind of leading up to that. And now it was the first time we've ever seen a quote unquote real Spider-Man movie away from Stark Tech and away from all that stuff. And I really felt that we got a good movie out of that.
Yeah, and you would think that that people will be able to learn from. It's like this day in society. It's a bad thing to learn something from someone else. It's like I gotta have it my way and only my way, instead of just learning. Like, hey, this is what it is. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. There's
No,
a 3-act structure for a reason. You have to show people what you like and make people feel something. And honestly, sit down and do it. It really feels like if 50 years from now we go back and we find out all these movies that have sucked have been written by AI, I would believe it, because there's no heart to a lot of it. A lot of the Supergirl, I didn't feel it. You wanted me to feel it, but you were telling me more than you were showing me. You weren't letting me make that connection. You were forcing it for me. And a lot of people are just gonna be fuck you on it.
also, I felt that movie was ugly. The color palette was ugly. If you're going into space and you're going to different, even if you're going to a space bar, and you look at the comic that's based on, give me awe and wonder in if I'm going to go to an alien planet. Don't just show me a shithole bar I could see anywhere on Earth. Give me something I haven't seen before. Take me to a place where I've never been.
Awe and wonder from what I'm seeing, that I can believe this isn't Kansas. This isn't some
No, and if you go in
in Tampa,
if some woman's singing, I mean, you know what? I go back to this. Not a lot of people love this movie, but I'm a big fan of The Fifth Element. I think it's a lot of fun. And like when they go to Floston Paradise and the blue diva, the woman comes out and sings that opera song, and it goes from being beautiful to being rock and roll. The Floston Paradise, the big floating cruise ship in space, that was fun. That was fun, pulp, heavy metal Hurlant, magazine, science fiction goodness. And while some of them don't dig the tone or the Frenchness of The Fifth Element, at least when you go into space, you're seeing something that's new and visually exciting. And I mean, I would love to have seen Supergirl crossed with The Fifth Element, which is kind of what it should have been. Even the villains, like what they're trafficking, they have to mate with young girls because they only have a male race. I'm like, what is this? What am I watching?
yeah, it tells you. I think we talked about this before. Like, you could see when this movie was made 20 years from now. The material that it's like, okay, this was in that moment, in that time when all this is going on. They had to say something about it, and that was their main goal instead of storytelling. And they didn't learn anything from how all the stories were back in the day, where they would say almost it's not the same thing, but they would give off what they really mean, but they would dig it so deep that you couldn't really understand, and you had to question how to get it in your mind. And it's about revolutions. Like, oh yeah, you're right. But it wasn't in the forefront. They didn't hit you over the head. Now everyone's excited to be slapped in the face with mediocre fucking storytelling. Rob, you need to have a class on how to actually write good stories. I would sign up for that. You want to go to a group class for 6 weeks? I'd fucking
I only know, I mean, it's just coming from great watching great stories told my whole life. I mean, the first thing that I would teach people, you know, I think one of the great, and I'm surprised, I used to think I took this for granted, is the original Twilight Zone, the 157 episodes of the original Twilight Zone. If you want to learn how to write, and I'm not saying every Twilight Zone episode is brilliant, but the thing about Twilight Zone is that the original, there's 5 seasons of the Twilight Zone. The 4th season has hour-long episodes, which aren't entirely successful. But if you look at the 4 seasons of the Twilight Zone that are half an hour long, it's an anthology show. So each episode has to start from scratch and create a character or characters and a premise. And then it has to tell you an entire story from beginning to middle to end within 30 minutes. And to watch Twilight Zone is to learn how to tell a story. Because, I mean, people remember Twilight Zone as the climax sometimes. Oh, we need that O. Henry Twilight Zone twist. But the great Twilight Zone episodes don't necessarily require a great twist at the end, although many of them have that. But what they do have is they really understand the structure of storytelling. And whether it's a half-hour episode or whether it's a novel or whether it's a movie, Twilight Zone, and also it was written not just by Rod Serling, but by Richard Matheson, by Charles Beaumont, by Ray Bradbury, by Harlan Ellison, some of the great mid-century fantasists who had written books and screenplays and short stories and television episodes. I mean, these are some of the greatest writers we ever saw. And they were also people, a lot of them came home from World War II. So the writing that they were doing was incredible. And it's a great way to learn, because you kind of learn great writing through osmosis by experiencing great stories. And when you know what a great story is, then you can be a better writer. But the problem is, I mean, it used to be when I was growing up, you could ask any kid, what their favorite Twilight Zone episode was, and they would tell you. Yeah. They might not know the episode, but they'd be, it was the one where there was a little baby doll and her name was Talking Tina. You better be nice to me. I mean, everybody knew a Twilight Zone episode, because at Thanksgiving they would have Twilight Zone marathons. And nowadays, no one knows Twilight Zone at all. And I'm like, they won't watch it because it's black and white. And it bums me out, because that's one of those things that teaches you about how stories are constructed, even though you don't know it. But the reason every kid knew their favorite Twilight Zone episode is because they got sucked in. And it didn't matter. It didn't matter, you know, what kind of a kid you were. It didn't matter what shape, size, color, creed, what your sexuality was. Everybody loved the Twilight Zone because they were great stories. And people don't know now. So
good to see you, DL. Thank you so much for joining us. And Rob, we've come to that time of the day when we have to say goodbye to our friends on YouTube, but we will continue the discussion on Zoom. So is there any?
So we can all be uncensored now.
Yeah, you can. Exactly. Do you have any announcements or any upcoming things you want to talk about?
Well, I'm just going to do a lot more Robservations. Now I'm no longer traveling. I'll get back on the Robservations tip. There's a lot to talk about. I have a lot to say. And of course, we're doing Let's Get Physical Media. We will, Alvaro and I will be starting our new show called The Forever Era. And the premise of The Forever Era, it's going to be an hour-long show, a half an hour for us to present. What we are going to present is things that we love. They might be record albums, they might be TV shows, they might be video games, they might be toys, but movies, books. They're things that we think belong to the permanent canon of imagination connoisseur excellence.
Oh, nice.
So, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to present both things that are old and things that are new. Like every episode, he's going to have something old, and I'm going to have something old, and he's going to have something new, and I'm going to have something new, and we're not going to tell each other beforehand.
That's cool.
What we're presenting.
Nice.
But there are things that we are endorsing as being essential.
Okay.
For imagination connoisseurs. So we're going to keep that to half an hour, and we'll do a half an hour of super chats or comments or whatever, and then be out.
Nice.
And I don't know if I'm going to do it once a week or twice a week. It depends how it goes. But we wanted to do a show that is only positive, where we take things and say, these things are great.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, your mileage may vary.
Nice.
Kind of like what the package I got in the mail from Victoria. Which I did get it. It was in my mailbox, which I sometimes don't check every day. But I got it and I opened it yesterday. But I'll be talking about that more on Let's Get Physical Media tomorrow because it's more appropriate to be talked about there.
Rob, I never followed up with you. You got my last bag of cinnamon candy, right? Must have been a couple of weeks ago.
You know what the problem with that? I might have got a bag of. I remember there might have been a bag of cinnamon saltwater taffy. But Roberto, it's surprisingly, I don't know where it went.
I know it usually doesn't. I know that it doesn't last long enough for you to remember.
I will say this: I did string it out. I did save it.
Okay.
But you know what? I will say this. Elizabeth got mad at me for something. And she goes, I don't even understand why you love that disgusting cinnamon candy.
Oh my goodness.
While there was still some left.
Them's fighting words.
I was like, how dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you, woman? How dare you? She's like, can I have some money for gas? No. I was like, Rorschach. They asked me to save us. No.
All right. Well, we're going to say goodbye to our friends on YouTube, but the chat continues on Zoom. So thanks, everybody, for joining us today. See you next time.
What's up, Stubble?